What's up? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we are going to talk about market share. But before we dive into a very well written explanation of market share, and I will give credit to the author at the end, I want to talk to you about organizing. The person that wrote this explanation of market share is an organizer, and he is doing a phenomenal job of getting information out there and making it easy to understand and organizing. And I'm looking at it as what I do here on this channel is an aspect of organizing. As an IBEW member, we are called to bring everyone who does electrical work under the umbrella of the IBEW. When you have a monopoly on anything, you control the price. Well, what we sell is labor. So if we have a monopoly on all the electricians, we get to set the price and conditions. The work still has to get done. We're the only ones that know how to do it. It is a power that we have that is a very significant power. Everything needs electricity. The amount of demand that's coming over the next 10 years is 80,000 electricians, new electricians, every year for the next 10 years. That's a lot of work that is coming our way that we have to man. Otherwise, we're going to race to the bottom. The fact of the matter is, we had to fight for everything that we now take for granted. And we are, what's the word I'm looking for? Susceptible to damage if we do nothing. So I want to give you this breakdown so that you can understand market share, so that when we organize a non-union electrician and we bring them into our ranks, you don't chastise and make fun of and belittle and make them feel other than. You take them under your wing and you teach them the ways of the brotherhood. They're here and we need them. So we need to be better brothers on the job site, better organizers in the streets. You don't need a job organizing by the local to talk to somebody in the street and let them know there's a better way. If we all did a little bit, the amount of acceleration would be exponential and we'd have this problem solved very quickly. So I hope when you're watching these videos and you're watching this channel, you're getting inspired and you want to get into the fight. Because there are people like me that are fighting this fight their entire career. We all need your help. This is not a spectator sport. Let's dive into this post that was amazing. If you don't follow Walt Gorey out of 666 on Facebook, you should. He does a lot of good information. Here we go. If there are a total of 100 electricians working in your local's jurisdiction, 75 non-union and 25 union, you've got 25% market share. If by and by it comes to pass that the local needs 10 more electricians and the local gets those 10 electricians by starting 10 new apprentices, now there are 110 electricians working in your local's jurisdiction, 35 union and still 75 non-union. In this scenario, the local's market share will jump from 25% to 31.8%. If, instead of starting apprentices, the local brought in 10 travelers, the number would be the exact same as above, except that it is a certainty that the local's market share will drop back down to 25% when the travelers go home. You following me so far? If instead of starting apprentices or bringing in travelers, the local organized 10 of the 75 non-union electricians in their jurisdiction, now there would still be only 100 electricians working in the jurisdiction, 35 union and 65 non-union. The local's market share will be 35%. By organizing, the local is able to increase their market share at almost double the rate than by starting apprentices or bringing in travelers. Organizing is far more effective. Not to mention the churn and uncertainty created in the non-union sector, increasing their costs and potentially making union contractors more competitive in the bid market. Market share, you'll recall, is what gives the local leverage at the bargaining table. At the end of the day, the local's market share is what gets the members of the local more money. In an indirect way, it also increases the pay of the non-union electricians in the area. If we're all about that money, right? There's a lot of us that sit there and go, I just want a fatter paycheck. I don't care about language. I just want a fatter paycheck. You want a fatter paycheck? Organize. Treat the non-union well, bring them in. We all have a role to play. I promise you, we all have a role to play. So anyone who wants more money gets more juice per squeeze from organizing than from starting apprentices or bringing in travelers. The statement of this fact is in no way meant to disparage apprentices or travelers. Having been both, I have great respect for them, and they each have their place in the market. The ideal use of travelers is for a temporary, singular uptick in demand in your market. If everything's steady Eddie and you get one big job, and when that's over, you know everything's going back to steady Eddie, you want to bring in travelers for that. The ideal way to grow your apprenticeship is to count up the number of journeymen in your local becoming eligible for retirement. They'll obviously need to be replaced. Then, if you're organizing, count up the number of new journeymen you're bringing in and figure out the ratio of journeymen to apprentices actually utilized in your local. Add those two together and then start a number of apprentices sufficiently greater than that sum to account for attrition within the apprenticeship. If you're changing laws in your local's jurisdiction, making it more likely that union contractors will get more work, if new customers are coming into town and existing customers are growing, if you're able to bring new union contractors into your market, you would be downright foolish to try to accommodate that growth primarily through the use of travelers and increasing the size of your apprenticeship, unless, of course, you already had a very high market share and there just weren't enough people left to organize. Now, in reality, markets are dynamic. Some employers are expanding, some are contracting. Workers and contractors enter and leave the area. Workers enter and leave the industry. Contractors start up and they go out of business. Trying to organize your local's jurisdiction is like trying to build an airplane in flight. It takes somewhat of an all of the above approach. You never really know the exact state of the market in the moment with any level of certainty. You have to take educated guesses and hope for the best. Luckily, my personal philosophy aligns with the IBEW's governing documents and principles espoused by our founders, and I am very comfortable erring on the side of organizing. The only misgivings I ever have are about whether I could be doing more. Our purpose is to organize. Anyone who doesn't understand that just doesn't understand the IBEW. If you're a non-union electrician in the Richmond area and you want to do the best you possibly can for yourself and your family, there is no competition at all. You need to join us in IBEW Local 666. We'd love to have you. We're not perfect by a great sight, but we are better and will make your life better, I guarantee. If you can show me documentation of 6 years experience, I can classify you as a journeyman in our local, making $36.21 per hour, $37.95 as of March 1st, with health insurance for your whole family at no out-of-pocket cost, and retirement, which can realistically make you a millionaire depending on your age, entirely funded over and above your pay. If you're ready to live a better life, please message me today. Written by Walt Gorey, Local Union 666. Thank you for such a beautiful representation of organizing. Thanks for showing me the way. Let's keep on fighting this fight together. Let's keep on moving our jurisdiction and our state in a more union way, and let's organize the planet. Let's go! My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. And remember that the fight's not left and right, baby. It is up and down, and it's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one, teach one, get out there and reach one. And remember, there can be no union without you and I, front and center. Let's go!